Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Hey there, this is Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com. What's all the excitement? Why are all these people gathered around? Well, they're hanging out with Alicia Vanderpool. She's one of the experts with AP Laser, and she's teaching them all the tricks of the trade. It's just one of the many attractions here at LaserCon 2024. People are having a great time here, and they're learning a lot too.
LaserCon is all about building relationships, networking, connecting, sharing ideas. It's all about making your business all around better. I love meeting my customers love meeting other people, and you basically become a member of the family when you join AP Laser. It's like a family reunion every time we get together. Everybody at AP Laser is here to help you. There's nothing better than helping somebody solve a problem, and that's what LaserCon is all about.
We have been using AP Laser for coming up on 9 years now. We decided to go with AP Laser because of the customer service. We didn't know anything about the laser industry whatsoever, but when we were looking at the company, they were willing to help out if we didn't know what we were doing or if we messed something up. So we knew that was the company that we wanted to go with. Since we are close to them, both in Lansing, we've been able to actually go over there physically, or they've come to us physically, which has been nice. There's the online community that we've been able to tap into as well. So we've pretty much tapped into every avenue they have for customer service. And oh my gosh, this has been so much fun. So I've never been to a LaserCon before. This is my first experience here, and everybody has been so friendly and so helpful. It's not a competition thing, it's a collaboration. So they're super willing to give little tips. There were some things I learned even today that just blew my mind, and it's going to be a game changer for us.
It's amazing to me that even though I've had a laser for going on 7 years, I learn so much. Even at this one today, I just pick up tips each and every time, and I go back with a whole bunch of more ideas that I can do with my laser.
Alicia, obviously, we can see people are having a great time here, and I can tell you're having a great time. What's so fun about LaserCon for you?
I mean, getting to meet all of the customers that I interact with online is huge. Meeting new people and finding out new things from them. I've seen some really creative projects that I would never even thought was possible to create on a laser. So getting different insights, learning things I did not know before, that's my favorite part of this. I'm also getting to teach people new things that they didn't know, and so forming these different connections has been really, really nice.
I think it's really cool. You're getting the exchange of information. You're sharing with folks, and they're sharing with you, and you're willing to learn too. How much are you seeing with different customers sharing with each other as well and sharing ideas?
I mean, I get a group over here, and as soon as I stop talking or I'm getting into details on something in here, they're all chatting together, they're exchanging their numbers. It's really nice to see those connections being made.
What kind of information are you giving to folks, and what are the questions you're getting the most?
So I'm kind of a creative expert here. So I've been giving a lot of tips and tricks on how to do different things in Lightburn, how to bring out details in photos. You know, people will come up with their different questions on how can I just get this a little bit better, and I'm just trying to guide them on those details there. Sort of like a training, but also they're training me a little bit as well.
LaserCon happens once a year, and it's a great event. Everybody's having a good time. Hundreds of people come here. But it's not the only way people can share ideas with each other. What are some of the other ways customers are talking to each other throughout the year?
So one of the big things that we have that I don't think a lot of other companies have is an online community. So we have 2 different Facebook pages. We have the Before You Buy group, and we have the user group. And within the user group, as soon as you buy your machine, you get added to the user group. People can post their different projects that they're making, share different settings. I know I have learned a lot of different settings and different techniques just from searching within that group. So it's great to have that connection. And even when I do the live streams, I get to connect with different people on there and get to teach them new things. They kind of teach me new things there as well. So,
what are some other ways that AP Laser helps their customers and their users if they get in a jam or they're trying to figure out something they haven't tried before?
So on top of our amazing training programs that we offer, we also have 24/7 tech support services. So anytime you're running into an issue, you can call us anytime, and we'll guide you through step by step how to get things back on track. It's not just tech support, you know, we're here to support you and your projects. So anything you're having issues with, we'll be able to help you from there.
We see that folks are doing all kinds of things with the AP Laser, and that's because the product itself is so versatile. What makes it unique in the industry?
Well, the big thing that we have that nobody else that I've seen has is our open architecture design, as well as our new lowrider design. So we're able to just pull this bed out You can lower the laser head directly to the ground, engrave things like boulders, monuments. You know, you can engrave directly on your floor if you wanted to. And that's something no other laser is able to offer.
If you want to learn more about AP Laser's products, go to aplaser.com, and you can also go to their Facebook user groups and find out what other people are doing. Again, aplaser.com, and when you talk to them, tell them Motorhead Garage sent you, you'll get a special discount. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com, so do not go anywhere.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, is brought to you by Amsoil, the first in synthetics, Shade Wagon, throw some shade, and by DragonFireTools.com, industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage.
Thanks for tuning in to Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. Let's talk about trucks. Just about everybody has one. You see them everywhere, and of course the urge immediately is to customize it, and lighting is a great way to do that. You might want to do it for safety. You might want to do it just to make it look cool. And when you're looking for lights, you want something affordable, something easy to install, and if you're looking for a unicorn, you want it to be made in the USA. Customs Unlimited does all of that. You guys have the unicorn, Andrew. So how do you do it? How do you do all of that and still have your products made in the USA?
Absolutely. Well, it is an easy day. Fortunately, we have an amazing team back in Michigan. Every single kit installed on this truck is actually assembled right in our Michigan facility and tested.
We can see it here in the studio in this Ford Super Duty truck. How many different makes and models do you cover with your lighting?
Yeah, great question. So our balance light kit and rocker running light kit are most commonly installed on heavy duty trucks. GMCs, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, all of them. But you can virtually install them on any vehicle with a valance or where you can mount the balance light kit.
These are really well engineered, but you've also put a lot of thought into the installation. I mentioned ease of installation. Now, how long would either of the kits you've put on here, how long would those typically take?
Yeah, so most of our customers, when we've asked them, believe it or not, under 30 minutes they've been able to install this kit. And earlier today, I think we might have broke that record. Our valance light kit is designed to be pre-wired, everything you need to install. We include the wiring, the solder shrink connectors. Basically, the only thing you need to do is decide where you want to source power. And Andrew is going to tell you about our plug and play harness because this thing changes the game.
Well, for me it does, because I'm not a wiring guy. I look at it and it's just like, I'd let somebody else do it, you know? You guys make it super simple. And how have you made it so easy to get power to your lights?
Absolutely. So there's a few options when powering up these lights. They only need a 12-volt power source, so your options are either an external battery with an external switch, or you're wiring up to a factory upfitter switch. But if your vehicle doesn't have an upfitter switch and you don't have very good wiring knowledge previously, a great solution is our plug and play harness. So these harnesses right here are made in America. Everything is pre-tapped to your daytime running lights or your parking lights, making installation of the lights extremely simple, simply tapping into these leads right here. This allows you to not tap into your factory wiring harness because this does everything for you.
Yeah, is this going to void the warranty?
Absolutely not.
About that, I'm sure.
Nope. So everything right here will not void your warranty. It simply plugs in the back side of your headlight on this side, and then this side here mates into the factory wiring harness.
Gotcha. That's fantastic. It makes it super simple for guys
Absolutely.
like me. Yeah. So we'll get to the couple of kits you have here. What other options do you have available besides what we're seeing here in the studio?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually have over 5,000 SKUs on our website. We have everything from the headlight to the tail light, everything in between from the cab lights to the road. Cab lights, badge lights, mirror lights, you name it, we have it for any automotive vehicle.
And in terms of these valance light kits, you have a few different options because obviously not every truck's the same, and usually you're putting lighting on your truck to stand out. So the two size options you have that are standard on our site are the 15-piece size and the 10-piece size. The 15-piece size is what's installed in this truck currently. It covers the full width of the valance, whereas the 10-piece is going to be just primarily the width of your grille. And then when it comes to color, that's also important. Primarily we have amber or white. And when you come to look at those LEDs, you're also going to be thinking, do you want those LEDs to stand out? For the install we did today, we use the amber LEDs, so even when they're off, you can still see those lights on the valance. But for those that want to blend in, the smoked lens option is great. And for those that want to match that factory chrome finish, they usually go with the clear lens.
We say it's easy to install, but it's really easy to install. I watched this. So what was the process like step by step?
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to install, you're already going to have everything you need inside your garage. There's no tools you're going to need to run to the hardware store and get. Unless you don't have a 3/4 inch hole saw or some type of drill bit, you might have to get one of those, right? When it comes to install, the first thing you're going to do is use our drill template. Each one of our kits, we highly recommend it, and I would say 99% of our customers opt into the drill template. It evenly spaces all of your lights and perfectly aligns them. The last thing you want to do when you install lights like this, that's bringing a lot of attention to your truck, is for them to be an inch above, an inch below. You don't want to make that type of install. You want everything to be perfectly aligned. So our drill template makes that easy. You simply put that drill template once you center it on the truck. From there, you're going to take your power tools, you get your drill, get that 3/4 inch drill bit, and drill each hole. Now what's great about our lights is they actually come pre-installed with a rubber grommet. This rubber grommet makes it so the finish, when you install it on your valance, blends right in. This looks like it's going to be coming right off the lot with it, and you can see with this 2024, if I didn't tell you that we installed these lights today, you would think they already came off the lot like that. So all of our kits include a rubber grommet, and then also more importantly, that LED on there is going to be extremely bright. So like you mentioned earlier, there's a safety piece to this where you can get extra visibility, but also they're going to look great and match that factory color as well.
All right, your lights are affordable, they look great. Are they going to last?
Absolutely, they're extremely durable. We put these things through every single condition possible. Back home in Michigan, we're exposing them to sleet, snow, ice, you name it. We've actually froze a kit in a block of ice, for a video on social media. These things have handled it tremendously well. Every kit is assembled right in our facility in Michigan and fully tested, and that's why we back it by a lifetime warranty.
Well, it's fantastic because you got folks covered either way. Now, James, where can folks find your lights?
Absolutely. On customsunlimited.com, we make it very easy to find any lighting you need for your truck. Simply put in your year, make, and model, and you'll find exactly the lighting that'll fit it. And we're very excited to announce, too, we now have the Big Rig bumper light kit available now for semi-trucks, and that's in addition to our very popular valance light kit that can be used on any heavy-duty truck, but also whatever else you want to install it on.
Well, these guys said it better than I can. Go to customsunlimited.com. You can find this and a whole lot more. And if you enter the keyword Motorhead, you can get a discount for a limited time. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com. So come on back.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, coming to you from the Shade Wagon studio.
Well, they don't make exhausts like they used to. This is an old exhaust, maybe 70s and 80s, and this is a newer exhaust, and that's a good thing, because look at that. This thing is huge versus that, man, there's nothing there. But what happens when the exhaust actually collapses or you don't get any airflow through it? Welcome to this AMSOIL Tech Tip. We're talking about exhaust systems and testing back pressure. In order to do that, let's look at the exhaust system. It all starts up there at the engine, runs through a catalytic converter, a muffler, and out a tailpipe. And here's a tech tip for you. If you're ever going to do any exhaust work, just go get some of this MP from AMSOIL, put it on the bolts a couple hours before. You're not going to have any problem removing them. If you don't, good chance you're going to shear off some bolts. Now, what happens if it starts to get clogged up? Well, you can do a couple of tests. You can do a pyrometer, and a pyrometer test is basically just shooting for temperature. Let's say hypothetical number 100, 100, 2, 3, 4, and 100. Well, we went up to 400 and then 100 on the other side. That's where the restriction occurred. You can also run a back pressure test with a back pressure gauge. What is that? Well, you pull the oxygen sensor out. Once you do that, you're going to take a back pressure gauge and you're going to go ahead and put it in the exhaust stream. Once they start up the car, well, your back pressure gauge is going to read. You want any less than about 3 psi of pressure while you're driving. Here's one with excessive back pressure right there. You can see it. Now you can run one other test called a vacuum test. Make sure it's past the throttle plates and you have a good vacuum source. Then you want to go ahead and start the car once again. Take a vacuum gauge reading. If it slowly starts to drop to 0, well, you can't get it out if you can't get it in. So you're going to start to lose vacuum. But it all revolves around this blow-by. Once that thing's pressurized, Len, I'm crudding up the oil. It's all getting down in there, man. Help us out.
Yeah, exactly. When that occurs, then you're getting that pressure in that cylinder, and you're getting combustion and all different kinds of things around those rings, and that can create deposits, and that can make the problem even worse. So the oil has to be designed to handle that. Now it is to a certain degree. Soot, carbon, different things like that go in the oil anyway, and the dispersant package handles that. It keeps it suspended. Once it goes through the filter, drops it off in the filter, goes back to pick some more up. The other side of that is you want to make sure that the oil can take those temperatures. So you want to have, really, really good base oils to start with so it can handle the high temperatures.
Now, you guys keep the questions coming. We always get the questions in the comments, and one of them is my oil turns black pretty quickly after I start the car. Is that a bad thing?
No, the oil turning black just tells you that the oil is doing its job. As I said earlier, that's what it's supposed to do, is pick up the carbon, pick up the soot, drop it off in the oil filter.
Every vehicle is going to have a little bit of blow-by, and fluids don't last forever. So just go to amsoil.com and check out their whole line of great products.
Our paintedautoparts.com Motorhead of the Week hails from the Hudson River Valley. His name is Mark Butler, but you can call him the Fabulous Moo Man. That's a nickname that he got when he was in charge of a milk plant. Well, Mark wrote in to tell us how much he loves Motorhead Garage. He watches the show every week. He loves all the innovative products that he sees here. And let me tell you, Mark is a true motorhead. He told me he loved growing up in the good old days when there were no cell phones, transmissions were all 3 on the tree, and everyone learned about working on cars and motorcycles from the older guys. Now, Mark is 72, and he's still riding his gorgeous 2016 CVO Ultra. And just check out the custom silver leaf Mark did himself. That is some beautiful work, Mark. Thank you to the Fabulous Moo Man for writing in. Mark Butler is our paintedautoparts.com Motorhead of the Week. Mark sent me a note at dave@motorheadgarage.tv. You can do the same. Just send me a note. Tell me why you or someone you know should be our Motorhead of the Week. Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, rolls on right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. Industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage. And brought to you by PaintedAutoBodyParts.com, the leading U.S. auto body parts online store. Cell phone seat, hands-free is now hassle-free. And by Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radio since 1977.
TRIBOTEX is a great product that works. If you just inject it into the engine, you don't have to go through anything extra. But Pasha, if you want to take it to the next level and make TRIBOTEX work at its best, there are a few best practices. Now, number one, you guys have told me, clean the engine. Make sure it's a clean surface to begin with. How does that work?
Yes, you want to make sure that these surfaces are clean. You can use engine flush before oil change, or you can use our new superior artisan bio-based cleaner called PR1.
And PR1 is great because it's environmentally friendly.
It is environmentally friendly, it is non-toxic, and third, it is a super concentrate, so a small amount goes really long way.
And the second thing, no other additives. You don't want to put other stuff in your engine while you're using TRIBOTEX.
Yes, all additive companies, we all fight against common enemy, friction and status quo of large oil companies that produce mediocre product. But it is very difficult to know how different additives will interact, so we recommend you to stay within same technology.
Another one your lead engineer Brian told me about is actually mix TRIBOTEX with the oil before you put the oil into the vehicle, right?
Depends on the application. You can inject it where it's easy to inject, or you can mix it with the oil and pour the oil through the regular route.
You won't notice immediate results necessarily with TRIBOTEX. Sometimes it takes a little while, so you need some patience.
You're right, patience is the virtue in this case, because we are not immediate solid lubricant. We are film former. We build the film over time. It takes about 10 motor hours to build the film that gives you dramatically low friction and all the benefits that goes together with using the product. So when you wait a little, it pays off royally.
But in today's society, I want immediate results. So if I don't see it working immediately, I'm just going to add more and more and more. But that's a big no-no. You don't want to overdo it when it comes to TRIBOTEX.
You will hear difference in noise in the very first 15 minutes when the valve train starts to quiet down. But the biggest difference is from the coating piston cylinder group. The very slow splash lubrication and rings remove most of the lubricant. That's where the most difference for the long-term effect and the fuel consumption happens, and the power. That's what you want to wait for.
You don't want to overdo it with TRIBOTEX.
Yes. Lower amount over longer time works better than more at once.
I have a lot of viewers that email me and send me notes and ask me about TRIBOTEX. They want to know two things, Pasha. The first one is it safe for my vehicle? Is it safe?
It's absolutely safe, and there's no condition in which it can't make an improvement.
And what about a new vehicle? It doesn't seem to need much improvement.
In new cars, You will not see much of a difference in terms of efficiency, but you will see a lot of difference in terms of longevity. And right after first oil change, it's perfect time to apply.
What about older vehicles and you're starting to have problems and maybe you hear some rattles and that sort of thing? TRIBOTEX is perfect for those folks too.
That's right. The more friction, the more difference it will make. So the older cars perform better, more cylinders perform better, and smaller engine, it performs better. This is all the places where a lot of friction robs you of fuel efficiency.
And it takes that friction away, but there's a lot of metal on metal wear, so you can get some grooves and scratches, that sort of thing in the metal parts of the car. How can TRIBOTEX fix those?
The grooves turn into smooth, glassy-like surface that is porous ceramic, and those pores filled with lubricant, so that lubricant works even when shock loads or sudden potholes happen.
Gotcha. Now let's talk about the other question I get a lot is how easy is it to apply or install or use TRIBOTEX?
If you know how to pop up the hood of the car and find where you put oil, that's all you need. You stop the engine, you open the hood, you inject material, you close it, you let it run for 15 minutes to assure dispersion, and it's good to go for 500 miles, and then you will see a difference.
How often do we need to put TRIBOTEX in our car?
It's enough for 40,000 miles, so once per few years if you drive not fast, or seasonally if you, let's say, ride-share driver.
Well, TRIBOTEX is going to make your vehicle last longer. It's also going to take your old vehicle, actually repair the damage, and give you better performance. You can check it out at TRIBOTEX.com. You can also find all the science there behind it. Thanks for being with us here at Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. We'll see you in 7 days. Until then, drive safely.